right now, so I have to move straight away to another session of Jean Monnet. We have a session on Jean Monnet that is going to be conducted by Professor Dr. Mohammad Riaz Shad. So he is head of Department of International Relations and also Jean Monnet Chair at National University of Modern Languages, Islamabad. So, sir, please, if you could take over from here. And thank you, Dr. Javed and Dr. Abi Wakas. We are behind schedule, so you can, if there are certain questions, you can answer them in the chat box. But we have to move to the other session. So take it over, sir. Dr. Abi, Dr.
Kashif Saab, thank you so much for inviting me to this session, this awareness session on Erasmus Plus opportunities. And of course, I shall be focused on Jean Monnet Actions. If keeping in mind the shortage of time, if we focus directly Erasmus Plus program and the place and availability of human actions under this broader Erasmus Plus program 2021-2027, then this is important to understand that in fact there are 4 types of Erasmus Plus programs. Key Action 1, which is related to learning for individuals. Key Action 2, which is related to cooperation among organizations and institutions. Key Action 3, it is related to development and cooperation, support for development and cooperation. But here in this session, we are focused on Jean Monnet Actions. Well, Jean Monnet Actions, as far as the presence, global presence or global existence of Jean Monnet Actions is concerned, we can see that there are 6,000, around 7,000 Jean Monnet Actions across the world. And at the same time, there are 100 plus countries which have Jean Monnet beneficiaries, and there are around 9,000 university teachers who have contributed to Jean Monnet Actions. In fact, this map shows green parts of the global map show the presence of Jean Monnet Actions across the world. And then next question arises that who was Jean Monnet? Jean Monnet was a French senior diplomat and politician. And in fact, he contributed a lot towards European integration process, particularly related to policy contribution vis-a-vis European integration process. For example, in 1950, he was the first one who gave an idea about launching European Coal and Steel Community, which he presented to the then French Foreign Minister Robert Schuman. And in this way, in 1951, the first instance of European integration process was initiated with the conclusion of European Coal and Steel Community. And in this way, later on, at that time, Jean Monnet was the French senior diplomat, and of course, later on, he contributed as a French politician and also worked with the European Commission. So in this way, Jean Monnet is popularly known as the founding father of the idea of European integration. So therefore, these actions have been named after his name. In fact, it's not just named, rather it is also related to the contribution he made towards European integration process and different policies of the European Union, which were developed gradually since 1950s. So here you can see In fact, there are three types of Jean Monnet actions. First, Jean Monnet actions in higher education, and second one is Jean Monnet actions uh, in other fields of education and training, and third one is Jean Monnet actions related to policy debate. But in this session, we will just be focused on Jean Monnet actions. First type of Jean Monnet actions in the field of higher education, and here it is actually related to teaching and research. First, it is important to define European Union studies. European Union studies refer to the study of Europe in teaching, learning, and it is related to European Union in its entirety, its history, aims, structures, functions, and policies of the European Union. So, in short, European Union studies may be related to any dimension of the European Union studies. It may be related to, it may be the policy studies, it may be the, by implication, here faculty members from the Pakistani universities related to any discipline, in fact, can apply for Jean Monnet actions. But mostly it is related to the studies of climate change, to the studies of economics, to the studies of politics, and so on. Means social sciences, but also it is related to arts and humanities. This is about the scope of Jean Monnet actions. Jean Monnet actions, as far as the scope of Jean Monnet actions is concerned, it is of three types. First one is European Union dimension focus. Second one is EU policy focus. Third one is public diplomacy focus. So first, as far as EU dimension is concerned, it in this case, Jean Monnet actions should promote active European citizenship and the founding values of the European Union. In the second case, EU policy focus, Jean Monnet actions should contribute to spreading knowledge about how these policies can benefit the daily lives of citizens in the EU and abroad. And in case of public diplomacy, it is related to European Union's public diplomacy, not only at the EU level, but also at international level. As I told you that here, the focus of this presentation is Jean Monnet actions in the field of higher education. First type of Jean Monnet actions, which are related to teaching and research, because this is the type of Jean Monnet actions that is related to Pakistani universities and Pakistani teachers, professors, and academic community. So here, this first type of Jean Monnet action, which is related to the field of higher education, it aims, in fact, it seeks five kinds of aims. First one is promoting excellence in teaching and research. Second one is generating knowledge and insights related to policy making and related to public diplomacy. And its third aim is reaching new people. New people here means not just academic community, but also common people in a state or society. And then it is fostering dialogue. And this fostering dialogue should be inclusive. It should include academic community, practitioners, means policymakers. It should include civil servants, civil society, and common people as well. And finally, functioning as a vector for public diplomacy on part of the European Union, so that it should increase the visibility of the European Union. Here you can see that who can apply for Jean Monnet actions. In fact, the first type of Jean Monnet actions, which is related to higher education institutions, it is further divided into three types. First one is modules, second one is chairs, third one is centers of excellence. This is the part and In fact, these are the components of the first type of Jean Monnet action, which is related to higher education institutions or higher education teaching and research. So here, three parts, three components, three types: modules, chairs, and centers of excellence. These three components are related to the universities which offer higher education here in Pakistan. So in this case, it is important that who can apply any higher education institution in the world, and as a matter of fact, in Pakistan can apply. And second one is other fields of education and training. In this case, only institutions from the European Union member states or third world countries associated with Erasmus Plus program can apply. So in the first case, this association with Erasmus Plus program is not mandatory. But in the second case, which is other fields of education and training, and which includes teacher training and learning EU initiatives. So in this case, the university concerned should be part of should be a partner university of Erasmus Plus program. This part is not really important. Here, this is very important. Key information about Jean Monnet actions in the field of higher education. So this is the first type of Jean Monnet actions, which includes three components: modules, chairs, and center of excellence. In this case, you can see that as far as eligibility is concerned, one higher education institution worldwide, duration is 3 years. It is a fixed duration in all the three cases, and it is 36 months or 3 years. Maximum EU grant, it is 35,000 euros in case of modules, 60,000 euros maximum contribution from the EU side in case of Jean Monnet chairs, and 100,000 euros in case of Center of Excellence. Its type of cost is fixed lump sum type 1 in case of module, and fixed lump sum type 1 in case of chairs, Jean Monnet chairs. It is customized lump sum type 2 in case of Center of Excellence. So it simply means that in case of modules and chairs, which in fact have more potential to apply for the Pakistani universities and for Pakistani academic community, in this case, budgeting is quite easier because it is related to lump sum type 1. And lump sum type 1, in this case, you need to understand three things: that just you will have a financial form. In this financial form, you need to enter three types of information. First of all, it is name of the professor. Second one is the credit hours offered by each professor in each year. In fact, for example, it is in case of modules, and in case of chairs, it is in case of modules, it is 40 teaching hours per year. It is mandatory, it is minimum, but it could be more. In case of chairs, it is 90 teaching hours per year, but it could be more. In case of Center of Excellence, it is different. In fact, here, because here the case is customized, means we don't have fixed teaching hours as we have in case of modules and chairs. And third point is that as far as the honorarium rate is concerned, teaching cost per hour is concerned, in case of modules and in case of, in fact, I'm sure about the chair for Pakistan, it is 80 euros, 80 euros per hour in case of chair, but I'm not sure about modules and Center of Excellence. Here are some examples. Jean Monnet module example. It is from India. Just its link is given here. So for the sake of detailed information or more information, you can see that how a module has been prepared in this case. Second example is also related to module example, and it is from Norway. Third example is related to Jean Monnet Chair. Example, it's from Pakistan. It's by myself. For example, in my case, in fact, I have once secured Jean Monnet Chair second time. First time I secured it in 2020, and its duration was from 2020 till 2023. Its title was the European Union as an Actor in South Asia. Institution is National University of Modern Languages, Islamabad. Discipline is international relations, and then you can see its project duration 3 years or 36 months from 2020 till 2023. As far as project aims were concerned, you can see here last project which I have already completed. I provided three project or chairs objectives, and its link is also given here. It's just for the sake of detailed information. By opening this, by accessing this website, you can see that how which components this chair project has, and how different components of the chair project were prepared. Well, this is another example of Jean Monnet Chair from Germany. Same is the case, actually, same kind of information, and it's also for the sake of detailed information for preparing your own project related to Jean Monnet Chair. This is related to Jean Monnet Center of Excellence. I would not like to explain Jean Monnet, this slide, which is related to Jean Monnet Center of Excellence, because it is far easier and convenient for Pakistani professors and universities to focus on Jean Monnet modules and chairs. Means first you should focus on modules and chairs, and finally you can move towards Center of Excellence. So at this stage, I am aware that as far as Pakistan is concerned, here we have, I think, one module and one chair, which is quite below the potential, because it is, it is a country of like 40 million people, and we have quite large academic community, a number of universities, but we have just one module across Pakistan, to my knowledge, and one chair about which I'm quite sure. Okay, this is Jean Monnet Actions award criteria. In fact, this is very important. As far as award criteria is concerned, Jean Monnet Actions have 4 components. Means there is fourfold award criteria for Jean Monnet Actions, and these 4 components are: first one is relevance of the project, second one is quality of the project design and implementation, third one is quality of partnership and cooperation arrangements, third one is impact dissemination and sustainability. So this is important that these 4 components, each component has 25 marks, because in case of all Jean Monnet Actions, there are total 100 marks, and the whole project comprises these 4 components, and each component comprises, each component is for 25 marks and total 100 marks. So in fact, you have to get at least 70 marks out of 100, and you have to get at least 15 marks out of 25 in each component or in each part of the Jean Monnet Actions. So I would like to explain each part briefly, that what does it mean. In the first case, relevance of the project. What is relevance here? The applicant should describe the background and rationale of the project. And more specifically, project should be relevant to the scope of the call. So it is important to understand the code of the European Commission, that what are the objectives and what has been asked for. So here, first, one should focus that project should be relevant to the scope of the call. Second important point is that project should address general objectives of the call, And third important point is that project should contribute to the priorities of the call. So in fact, when you prepare your project and you start writing relevance of your project, you should be quite particular. And before that, you should clearly go through the call, the current call, which is for the year 2025. And secondly, you should also go through European Commission's guidebook, which is its latest version is 2025. Second component is quality of the project design and implementation. So here, in this case, just outline the approach and methodology behind the project and explain uh, why certain the selected approaches and methodologies are the most suitable for achieving the project objectives. So this second part is related to, in fact, the research methodology of your project, and it's not research methodology in technical terms. It is just research methodology related to your project. But of course, as far as Jean Monnet Actions and Jean Monnet modules are concerned, these are mostly related to teaching. And then, of course, as far as their secondary relevance is concerned, they are related to research as well, but their primary focus is on teaching. So here, your research methodology will be related to the teaching and project implementation, project design and project implementation. Third component is quality of partnership and cooperation arrangements in case of modules, and in case of Jean Monnet chairs, this component is not applicable. But the fourth one is really important. It is impact, dissemination, and sustainability. What is that? It is, in this case, you define the short, medium, and long-term effects of the project. You identify the target groups, and then you focus that how will the target groups benefit concretely from the project and what would change for them. So in fact, these are the four components, and these four components make part B of the project, because there are four parts: part A, part B, and part C. Part A is all, in fact, it's part of the application, which is completely online through EU portal, European Commission portal. You have to fill in part A, part B, which is the project description. It is available in the form of MS Word document, and part C is again online. But the most important part of this Jean Monnet chair and Jean Monnet modules, in both cases, it would be part B, which is project's description. And these four components, namely relevance of the project, quality of the project design and implementation, quality of partnership and cooperation arrangement, which is not applicable here, and fourth one, impact, dissemination, and sustainability. These four components, in fact, constitute part B, which is the project description. Here, it is little information about the budgeting of Jean Monnet modules and Jean Monnet chairs. So here, the important point is that in both cases, the budgeting is based on lump sum type 1. Lump sum type 1 means, in case of modules and chairs, 75% EU co-financing, means EU contributes 75% of the project, and rest of the contribution should be made by the university or the institute concerned. Okay, this is some information about Jean Monnet Actions 2024 selection results. For example, you can see that 26 million euros total budget was available for Jean Monnet Actions. And you can see that this much number applications were received, and this much number of allocations were made in case of modules, chairs, and Center of Excellence also teacher training and issue learning initiative on which we are not focusing in this presentation because it is related to second type of Jean Monnet actions. Here we are just focused on the first type of Jean Monnet actions, which is related to higher education and more specifically, which is related to teaching and research. This is the total, budget for Jean Monnet actions, and then there is a breakdown for teaching initiatives, for other fields of education and training, for policy debate. So here, since we are focused on teaching activities, and in this case, modules, chairs, and center of excellence are relevant. So it is more than 12 million euros total budget. But in each case, of course, it varies from case to case. It is different in case of modules. It is different in case of chairs. In case of chairs, it is the total budget, maximum limit of the budget is 60,000 euros. What are the relevant documents? Erasmus Plus Program Guide. This is the most important, which I've already mentioned. For example, you can Google and you can find Erasmus Plus Program Guide. In this guide, it is like a bulky booklet, and you can see any kind of information about any funding opportunity under Erasmus Plus program. And second important document is the relevant call documents and application forms. And this is the ID of website of the European Commission, and you can see that within European Commission, it is in fact there is a culture executive agency that deals with Jean Monnet actions. So you can just access this link and you can find all information. You can find the Erasmus Plus program guide. You can find their updated call, and you can also find their application forms, and all the three contain information in one way or the other. Okay, this is important when you prepare your application. Then what are the tips? First of all, most important point here is be coherent. Different parts of the project, different parts of your project proposal, and different headings of your project proposal should be coherent and interconnected conceptually and methodologically. And second one is be concrete. Use examples, justify your claims, provide evidences. So this is, in fact, the basic principle of any academic writing, any research pursuit. And third one is remain focused, concentrate exclusively on the objectives of your project proposal. And fourth one is be explicit. Means sometimes we assume that a certain point or certain justification or certain example is self-explanatory, but actually nothing is self-explanatory. You have to write everything related to your project explicitly. For example, if there are limitations, you have to express those limitations explicitly. If there are certain points that come to your mind that, for example, your project would progress in future in this way or that way, those points should be expressed explicitly. Then, of course, be realistic. Means whatever you write, it should be correct. It should be genuine. It should be pragmatic. It should be realistic. Double check your application. When you complete the write-up of your project, read it again and again, and you will see that in this way you would be able to make a number of improvements. And then be clear. Read the questions carefully, provide information in the correct order as indicated in the form, and keep it simple. This is the principle of parsimony, that if you would be simple in your write-up of the project, then definitely it will means sometimes we get more verbosical. It is better to be simple in your write-up, and it's better to be clear and explicit in your write-up, and this would, of course, work more effectively. Thank you so much. And here are certain useful links. Kashif Saab will share this presentation with you, and you can see that these different links will provide you very useful information related to Jean Monnet Actions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your experience as Jean Monnet Chair. So you are our only Jean Monnet Chair in Pakistan, and we would like more people and more people from the universities to join him and collaborate and ask questions from him, and we can have more modules, Jean Monnet modules, and we can have more Jean Monnet chairs. So thank you, sir, once again.